Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. African swine flu detected in the region, and Barbados is keeping a close eye on it. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Thursday, 26 August 2021. Details when we return.
Hubbard's big promotion is back. Live free for 1 year. Spend $50 or more in any Hubbard's department and receive a chance to win big prizes every month. Property or vehicle insurance for 1 year. Free internet, cable and data for 1 year. Free fuel for 1 year. Free cooking gas for 1 year. Free electricity for 1 year. Free drinks for 1 year. Extra cash account and the big free groceries for 1 year. Promotion runs from April 1st to September 30th, 2021. Live free for 1 year with Hubbard's in association with Solgas, Flow, Grenadian General Insurance, Carib Brewery, Coca-Cola, Grenada Bottling Company, Grenlec, Communal Cooperative Credit Union, Dutch Lady Milk, Promo, Danny and Supreme. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. Health officials in Barbados are keeping a close eye on the African swine flu, which has been detected in the region. More in this Barbados Today news story.
Speaking at the Grantley Adams International Airport on the arrival of the final shipment of AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccines from the COVAX facility, Prime Minister Mia Mottley said government will be proactive on the issue.
The African swine flu is now in our region. On the 29th of July of this year, the Dominican Republic recorded its presence there. We all know what the swine flu has done and how it has decimated animals and livestock, pigs from a bigger country as China to some European countries to other countries across the world. It is going to mean that we have to take proactive measures, and this may mean nothing to you, but it does to me because we were at a similar moment in January of 2020. And when others were not prepared to listen and to watch and to plan, we took a decision, and I thank my Minister of Health and all of the public officials of Barbados for putting us in a position to be able to do early planning.
Meanwhile, still on Barbados, that country now has the luxury of 3 different choices of COVID-19 vaccines.
Health and Wellness Minister Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic is encouraging residents to get vaccinated.
It's the first time that we can say that we have the capacity now to offer 3 choices of vaccines to our countrymen and women. It started with AstraZeneca, then we had Sinopharm, and we've recently been able to acquire the Pfizer vaccines. Our struggles in acquiring vaccines has been as enduring as our struggles in fighting the COVID pandemic. Like COVID fatigue, we've also experienced vaccine fatigue. Trying, getting promises of dates of arrivals that some of them have not yet happened. We've also been on vaccine lockdown, just like COVID lockdowns, because there were some occasions when we thought we probably would not reach the point where we are at today. But I want to say that it is really a pleasure to have had the support and the cooperation of the international community through Gavi and COVAX that really has facilitated the vaccine and the final batch of vaccines that we are here to receive today.
1 in every 3 adults is vaccinated in Barbados. Those statistics were shared today by PAHO WHO representative for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean countries, Dr. Yetis Gabriel. Given brief remarks on the arrival of the AstraZeneca vaccines today, he says the country's vaccination numbers are moving in the right direction.
There is a good news in progress in Barbados. 1 in 3 persons are now fully vaccinated. The vaccination coverage has increased by 2-fold from May 17 to August 16, 2021 in Barbados. If vaccines are widely available and accepted by the most skeptic and hesitant vulnerable population, Barbados should achieve the target of 40% by the end of September and maintain 60% immune population before its historic political achievement in 2022.
No report of any child dying after taking the Pfizer vaccine has reached Trinidad and Tobago's Ministry of Health. This disclaimer from health officials after a series of WhatsApp messages started circulating claiming that a 12-year-old had died after taking the vaccine. Meantime, the ministry is appealing to people not to share information with unverified sites in light of the establishment of a website prompting people to submit their vaccination information. TV6's Renessa Cutting reports.
Contrary to claims being circulated on social media platform WhatsApp, the Ministry of Health says to date there have been no reported fatalities associated with the Pfizer vaccine locally.
You're quite right in calling those reports unverified. We have not received any such report, especially any report of a fatality. We have received a report of at least one allergic reaction, which was handled by the health system, and the individual in question is actually quite well at this point in time. And as those events come up, we will definitely be notified if there's any trend that indicates any problem or any danger.
Over 12% of school-aged children have already received the Pfizer vaccine since the start of the rollout last week, Wednesday. And the Ministry of Health says apart from that one case of severe allergic reaction, no other adverse events have been reported.
The objective of the vaccination program and of the health system is to improve health and to avoid risk. So if any information comes up that suggests risk, then the ministry will, of course, take the necessary steps to reduce that risk.
Meantime, the Ministry of Health is reminding parents of children who have received the Pfizer vaccine, as well as all persons who have received any COVID vaccine, to report adverse events through ministry-approved channels, in light of the establishment of an organization calling itself COVID Report TT, which is inviting persons to submit reports of adverse events via their website, verstt.com.
Any other system that claims to be in place does not have the support of any data protection as far as we're aware. It is not being monitored clinically by any clinical specialist associated with the ministry. And whatever information is being put into such a system then cannot really be verified. So what we would advise is that the systems that are already in place for the collection of any adverse event data, those systems continue to be used. At any health center or emergency room, you can go and report your symptoms, report when you took the vaccine, show your vaccination card. That information is going to be passed up to the expanded program on immunization in a manner that allows for verification.
Renessa Cutting, TV6 News.
COVID-19 cases could exceed a weekly record of 171 recorded earlier this year. Acting Chief Medical Officer of Antigua and Barbuda, Dr. Terry-Ann Joseph, says this is possible due to the sharp increase in infections now being experienced. Carolyn Biza of ABS News reports.
The acting chief medical officer says there were only 2 cases in June.
So we moved from 2 cases to 47 cases in July to 232 cases alone in August. Alone in August. That's a lot of cases.
The acting CMO expresses her fear with this sharp increase.
And based on what we're seeing, we may actually pass the 171.
In a week.
In a week. It's possible. It's possible. And that is actually frightening. It's frightening.
Meanwhile, the 185 active cases as of 21st of August range in age from 11 months to 82 years old.
So of all of the active cases, persons between, we'll call it 0 to 11 years, are 17. And of the 50 new cases, 7 of those are between the ages of 0 and 11 years. Of the 185 active cases, 11 are between the ages of 12 to 17.
86 are males and 99 are females, while 22 of the 50 new cases are males and 28 are females. Of the 185 cases, 12 are imported and 123 are local transmission, while 50 are unknown. She also outlines what is known of the vaccination status of the 185 active cases.
53 are unvaccinated, 5 partially vaccinated, 21 fully vaccinated, 4 are under the age to be vaccinated, 17 actually, and 101 we really don't know about.
Sherilyn Beza reporting for ABS News.
Did you know that your friends and family can now shop at the Food Fair from anywhere in the world, and you can receive here in Grenada? The Food Fair and GrenadaMarket.com now make it possible through secure online shopping and personalized customer service. Simply send your loved ones a list of your preferred items or let them fill an online basket, and the items will be available for pickup or delivery. Visit GrenadaMarket.com or thefoodfair.gd today for more details. The new norm. Spread the news.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.
As Antigua and Barbuda observe 3 days of national mourning, which will culminate in the state funeral of Celesta Bird on Thursday, the body of the late national hero and former Prime Minister lay in state at the Antigua Trades and Labor Union. Courtney Joseph of ABS News reports.
His main focus was for the development of Antigua and Barbuda. Naturally, he is being dubbed Father of Modern Antigua. And it is so fitting. It's true, because whatever we are seeing now.
President of the Antigua Trades and Labor Union, Wiggly George, paying tribute to Celesta Bryant Bird. He is among many officials who express gratitude for the contributions of Celesta to the Twin Island state. George remembers the major economic growth and opportunities Celesta brought to Antigua and Barbuda and the resultant benefit to the people of the Caribbean.
That's the face of Lester Bird, regardless of how you put it. In Antigua and Barbuda, once you see what's happening, and there was a boom in Antigua, come on. Our brothers and sisters from across the waters all streamed into Antigua because jobs were available. Construction was booming.
Government senators, including Gail Christian, Maureen Payne-Hyman, and Osbert Frederick, also paid their respects on Tuesday. Senator Christian fondly remembers the former Prime Minister for his character even more than his larger-than-life political contribution.
His political fortunes didn't matter. What mattered was Antigua and Barbuda and its citizens, and I will long remember him for that, for being the quintessential leader, for being the charismatic leader, the compassionate leader, the understanding man, the man who was resilient, the man who pushed forward, notwithstanding what he was faced with.
The state funeral for the late Celesta Bryant Bird will be held this Thursday. Courtney Joseph, ABS News.
In her latest address on the island's surging fourth wave of the COVID-19 pandemic, St. Lucia's Chief Medical Officer on August 23rd noted that so far there has been a positive public response to the recently implemented COVID-19 control measures announced by the Health Minister on August 19th. Rihanna Isidore of NBC St. Lucia has some details.
An encouraging first-day turnout for the United States donated Pfizer vaccine, coupled with notable improvements with the public's response to the latest suite of COVID control measures, the Chief Medical Officer suggests, is exactly what the doctor ordered to get a handle on a fourth wave of the pandemic that threatens to overwhelm the island's health system.
The response this last weekend by the public was promising, and we ask the public to continue working with us and to exhibit responsible behavior to manage this fourth wave. This past week, the Ministry of Health has collaborated with the Minibus Association, the Chamber of Commerce, the tourism sector, the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association. These meetings were targeted to discuss and strengthen collaborations and efforts in reducing the risk and managing the spike in COVID-19 cases.
Health Ministry data on new COVID-positive diagnoses indicate a daily average exceeding 110 cases in recent weeks. Longer curfew hours, announced by the Health Minister on August 19th, are in effect to restrict movement. The epidemiological forecasts, as the fourth wave rolls on, the CMO suggests, could hold for weeks to come. But consistent adherence to government's COVID control guidance, as observed in recent days, could disrupt the infection rate sooner. Evidence of a slower transmission rate could start showing up as early as next week.
We continue to note high numbers as we test the contacts of cases. Based on the long incubation period of this virus, we forecast that these numbers will continue until we note a reduction in the rate of increase, possibly by next week.
The Delta variant, however, poses a significant threat to St. Lucia's unvaccinated population, according to health officials. COVID-positive admissions in the respiratory hospital, the CMO disclosed, comprises mainly unvaccinated people.
We continue to advise the public to remain vigilant as the increased transmission and risk of the variants of concerns is present.
To date, the Health Ministry is currently managing more than 1,400 active COVID-positive patients. Rehan Isidore.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.